All right, darling. So I got out of my chair and we're about to start episode 69. And episode 69 is all about the D, the big D.
Well, one hopes it's big.
One always hopes it's big.
Well, the truth about a big, I'm trying to be cool and a little puritanical, if you will. But I'm just going to say it. The thing about a big cock is they're just so pretty to look at.
I know. So this episode is going to start off with us talking about dicks, cocks, and penises. Ooh, ew, I know. Randy
I didn't get
hates
to say it, and everybody who knows this show knows I hate it when he says penis. So,
but we going to get into the...
We all know there's a difference, so we discussed it.
Yes, because in episode 68, it was all about the bottoms. Now it's all about the tops. And it's all about big dicks, little penises, big whatever. Just all around. Let's get into the big D before we start talking about the C and the P. Because the C and the P are just as important.
But the D doesn't cover as much territory as the C.
In this case, dicks carry two territories. We're going to talk about dicks in the news, entertainment, music, all this other stuff. Those kind of D's.
You're going to have to start that conversation.
I'm going to start a conversation. Let's talk about a little D. And this was a little D. This was an incident that Randy had brought up on an episode that I was not able to put out, and it occurred at a school. It had something to do with a wig. Something to do with the wig.
Yes, we know that student. There was a substitute teacher, and girl, she's just doing her thing, and she finally had to tell this one obstinate child. And honestly, I don't think it was high school. Looking back, I think it was junior high, and I think he was like 13.
Was he 13? I thought he was 17.
No, I think he was like 13. Anyway, obstinate, 17, 13, whatever. Substitute teachers, all teachers need respect. And she told him to sit down in his chair because he was dancing around, doing a little jig and being a fool. Class clown. But, back in our day, class clowns were in their desks and making stupid remarks. Like, I was a class clown. I never would have did what he did. He got up and did a little jig, and she came up to him and told him, sit down. And she turned her back on him for 1 second, and he snatched her wig off, girl.
Ooh!
Yes!
That's a ooh moment.
Right? And she looked like she was ready to punch him, but she didn't. Thank God. Because then she would have went to jail, and this child would have won. But guess what? He won anyway.
Back in the day, the child wouldn't have won. The teacher would have won.
Exactly, but that doesn't happen anymore.
And I heard this, amazingly enough, when it comes to teachers, I actually overheard a conversation at a workplace that I work at. So I'm not going to name the workplace. But the thing is I heard a bunch of teachers sitting around talking. And one of the teachers said, hey, you know why such and such quit? Because she was sick and tired of dealing with parents. It's not that teachers don't love your kids. They love your kids. They don't like you.
Right.
And every parent seems to have this idea that their child is special. Their child is wonderful, a genius.
He would never do that.
So this and that. That child comes home with D's and F's on his report card, but you still think he could be the next Albert Einstein. Which, by the way, if you read anything about Albert Einstein...
He didn't graduate from high school.
No, he did graduate from high school. He did get perfect grades. He was a scientist. That's a myth. That is an urban myth that has been going around for years.
What, the myth that he didn't graduate from high school?
Yes, the myth. I went out and decided to buy his autobiography.
Autobiography. Oh, okay.
And there was never any mention of him making bad grades in school. He never made bad grades in school. He made excellent grades in school.
But
that came from an inspirational blog from years and years ago.
No, but I heard he didn't finish high school because of his dyslexia.
No, he finished high school. It made no sense.
There's nothing wrong with not finishing high school.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with not finishing.
Because of dyslexia. And, you could be a genius without finishing high school or college. He never went to college. I know that for a fact. But no, but he also never ripped the wig off the substitute teacher's head. And, I think that she retired. She's like saying that she's retiring after that. Because nobody should go through that. Nobody. Why would you? I'm not saying I'm trying to figure out what children would do, but why would you, as a parent, defend your child when it's on fucking video? And his mother defended him. That's disgusting.
As much as I like to talk about dicks in the news, there is a term called a dick move. Do you know what a dick move is? A dick move, basically, but if the audience doesn't know, is when you do something awful to another person and you do it on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
It's a dick move.
But now, it's calculated.
It's calculated. There's a difference between being an asshole and being a dick. You can be a dick for a moment. Everybody's a dick for a moment.
Right.
But an asshole is an asshole.
Yeah. But a dick move is something that you've definitely thought about doing.
Yeah, exactly. So here was a dick move that was done by the internet. And, the internet is amazing for dick moves. You can find so many dick moves on the internet. It's ridiculous. I mean, good God. But one that was a bit more touching that I did not realize. Chris Evans, the actor who played Captain America in all the Marvel movies and all this other stuff.
Looking guy, yeah.
Jenny Slate. He was dating Jenny Slate. Now, Jenny Slate is a comedian. She's an actress. To me, she's a beautiful girl, but to a lot of people, she's kind of plain. She's got dark hair. Her breasts are not Hollywood breast.
Well, that kind of thing. Have that work done.
Yeah, if she wanted to, but she likes herself.
Good for her.
But she loves herself enough that she is comfortable in her own skin. Well, they were dating. I did not know that they were dating for the longest time.
She's getting some.
Yeah, they were dating for the longest time.
Good for her.
The problem with that is that the internet was saying, she's too plain for him. She's not the type of girl that he should be dating. He should be dating hot girls.
That's why they call them trolls.
Yes, exactly. So their relationship ended because the internet's dick move of deciding to evaluate their relationship.
Oh, I have to call foul.
And
I have to call foul on that because if he really loved her, he would have stayed with her regardless.
Here's the kicker, though.
Don't you think?
Yes, but here's the kicker. She broke up with him, not the other way around.
Oh, that's sad.
She broke up with him. Yeah, she broke up with him because she couldn't handle all the pressure and all of the negative comments. And all
that's
this
a psychological thing for her, and I feel sorry for her. Somebody else has been through that. Oh, she's going through it right now. I guarantee you. The trolls are still saying it about her. This poor woman, Hugh Jackman's wife,
yes,
has never been pretty enough for the trolls. And the trolls have attacked her since he became Wolverine. With his beautiful fucking body. And his face is beautiful. Let's face it, the man's beautiful.
The man's beautiful.
And guess what? she's beautiful too.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
She's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But she's not beautiful enough for the trolls.
Mm-hmm.
And they've always come against her saying, "What's wrong with you, Hugh Jackman?
I was pleasant.
Why are you with her? She's fat. She's ugly. And
she's
bitch,
old. She's this and that.
Old. And guess what? She's his motherfucking wife. So y'all need to back the fuck off. That man is in love with his wife. And good for him.
Has been since the first. If you know their story, she was an actress on an Australian soap opera for many, many years. He came in as a young actor, just virile, looking good and everything else.
Always.
They met.
Always been like that.
They met. Her first thought was, oh, he's nice looking, but not for me. And he fell in love the moment he met her. And he pursued and pursued and pursued. And she resisted. She resisted. She's like, no, he's too young. He's too this. He's too that. Blah, 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 blah. But here's the thing. His persistence was not on a stalky kind of, you know how some people can be kind of stalky. It was more on the lines of, okay, so you think I'm too young. You think I'm too this, that, and blah, 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 blah. Fine. We'll be friends. And I can guarantee you that if we're friends, you'll fall in love with me. I think that's the most romantic love story ever, because
doesn't he seem charismatic?
He is charismatic.
Fuck his looks. He just looks.
He's like charismatic.
He seems like a very charismatic person.
To me, he seems like a guy you can go out and have drinks with, have a good time. Yes, of course, the ladies would like hit on him and everything, but he would be like, you know what, I'm good.
No, I'm good.
I'm good. Thank you, though. I appreciate it.
I have a beautiful wife at home. Thank you.
I don't even think he would say that. I think more in the lines of, if he wasn't interested in you, he would just say, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. I'm hanging out with my friends. We're doing that.
I have a wife at fucking home. And shame on anybody, any of you fucking trolls.
But we are now, and I like the idea that we're having a dick conversation, because here we are, and Randy and I have talked about this, especially more vehemently. Randy does it more vehemently than I do. The fact of the matter is that the internet has become a place of shame,
hatred
to the point of, you can't, if you do something wrong on the internet, we've talked about people who've done, we talked about Kevin Hart and his little thing. We've talked about all kinds of celebrities who've done some bad things. Now, when someone does something bad and they have shown change, do we continue to still bring up the bad? Or do we allow growth?
I think we should move on and let people grow and learn. But honestly, the people who are trolling online, who are being trolls, they want discord. They don't want any good. They're making, their purpose is discord. And so shame on you, and fuck you, and fuck off, and troll me, motherfucker.
Basically, it's really called misery loves company.
Yeah.
If I'm miserable, I'm going to make you miserable.
It's shameful.
I'm living in my mother's basement, and I don't have a life. There's no girlfriend. There's no prospects of one, because every time I talk to a woman, she says, ew, no. When she says, ew, no, what she means is that, yeah, you were being creepy the entire time. So that's why I said no. I didn't say ew, no because of your looks or what have you. I said ew, no because you wouldn't stop talking to me. Well, or you followed me home. Or you tried to get into my car when I told you not to. Or all these other things that, no, those are dick moves.
Yeah.
And then you blame her for all of that stuff without looking internally to figure out, well, maybe
I did something wrong.
Maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I need to learn. Maybe I need to learn how to like myself first before I approach someone and try to get them to like me too. Everything is supposed to happen naturally. If someone likes you, they will like you. If someone says no, they mean no. just call it a day.
Yeah.
No, it's not a rejection. All no is that person is not interested in you.
But anyway, the moral of this story is y'all need to get you some business and leave people alone and stop hating. My gosh, stop hating people. That's ridiculous. Why do you hate somebody just because you're jealous? That's it.
Because that's natural. That's the natural way human beings are. We're always jealous of what someone has, what we want, what they have. We envy what they have, and we want that. And when we don't have it in our own lives, then that's when the hate comes out. There was no other form to do it beforehand, and now the internet gives us that form. And that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And we have to learn how to live in that society, because that's the society that it is. What you reading over there, girl?
Girl, I was just reading something kind of scary that I had written down for last week's show.
Go ahead and tell us, girl.
704 meat cases in 22 states.
Of what kind of cases?
704 measles.
Measles.
Lord have mercy. See how bad I can't even read my own damn hand.
Put your glasses on, bitch. Put your glasses on.
It's a matter of penmanship. That's a shame.
When you can't even read.
704 measles cases in 22 states, and now you know they've risen since last week.
You know why?
The highest cases since 1994. And
you know why that's happening, right?
Yes, because of people like Jenny McCarthy saying we don't need to
vaccinate,
and it's causing autism. Guess what? You need to vaccinate. And only, according to my records, only 8% of children who were vaccinated have autism. So I don't know what you're dealing with your 8%. Or what have you. But please vaccinate your goddamn kids. I mean, seriously, you already have children that you're not going to raise right. At least inoculate the motherfuckers so they're not killing people.
Can I tell you this? And I don't mean, and by the way, let me throw this up. Shout out to our biggest fan on the planet, Miss Amanda, who's our biggest fan. She listens to our show every week.
I love you, Amanda. You know
every week she has a 3-year-old who is just a cutest little thing. No, she did. Oh, good Lord, no.
You,
good Lord, she's not. No,
Ooh,
no.
Lord, thank you, Amanda.
Good Lord, no.
I was worried.
No. Good Lord, she is not one of those people. Good Lord, if she was, no. Good Lord, she is our biggest fan. I love her little child. He is just the cutest little adorable thing on the planet.
You know, I've never seen this child, but I'm sure he's very well behaved.
But I want to give a shout out to Amanda and let her know that when we talk about children, we ain't talking about yours because yours is special. We love your child.
We're not talking about your child, Amanda.
Your child is special. We love your child. Your child is beautiful.
And how you doing,
You are
Amanda?
well. He is well taken care of. His parents love him. They are doing all the right things. Good for you,
and
Amanda.
that husband of hers seems like a nice fella.
That husband of hers seems like a very handsome fella that everybody wants to see me get with.
I'm not saying anything about how fucking hot he is. I'm just saying he seems like
we're not going to say his name because we don't need to say his name.
He
but
seems like a nice fucking hot guy.
He is a very nice young man.
He's a nice Hutton. He's a nice fucking hot guy.
Yeah, he's a very nice young man who is taking care of business. Inspirational story here, and I hope he does not mind this. Hope he does not mind this. But the fact of the matter is that I have always admired him. He started off with nothing. He had issues with drugs and alcohol. He was homeless at one point. Lord.
Bless his heart.
He had nothing. And he would tell me, Joel, I have a goal of what I want to do with my life. And this is what I'm going to do. And I watched him grow and succeed at everything that he wanted to do. You know, that was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. Because I had tried. I don't want to say, what I want to say is that I love the fact that I was able to be there to help him when he needed it. Mm-hmm. But to see him grow and start a family and to succeed in life, to buy a house, to do all the things that he wanted to do, that is inspirational.
It's very nice.
That is inspirational. It's one of the reasons why I started to do the show, because I saw a person who was determined to do all the things, and he had nothing, literally had nothing. And he was determined to do the things that he did, and he, through sheer hard work and determination, he made it.
That's what it takes.
He made it, and that's what it takes. And that is exactly what it takes. I'm not going to say his name.
See, I'll tell you what.
But I will tell you this.
He's more than just a beautiful man.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good man.
He's a good man. He is a good man. And gentlemen, that is what you want. You want a good man. For
or
us
ladies.
Gay men,
or ladies.
For us gay men, you want a good man.
You want a good man.
You want a good man. So always look for a good man. And a good man can come in all kinds of packages.
A good man is me, by the way. I'm a good man. Hell. But I'm looking for a good man. We can work together and build this life.
Mm-hmm. You know,
seriously, that would be awesome.
You know, this episode is all about the D, but it's more than that. It's also about being self-confident in who you are. Mm-hmm. It's about knowing what you got and using what you got to get what you need to get.
There you go.
And you are always going to be fine. And as much as we joke,
and he is fine.
Mm-hmm. And as much as we joke, oh, by the way, if you thought the other episode where we got into the bottom half of the show, wait until we get into the top half of the show, because it's going to get really good.
I can't make any
I don't know if we have the strength. We may not have the strength, but we going to get there. Lord willing, we are going to get there. We are going to make it to the mountaintop.
Bring the Lord into this.
We are going to make it to the mountaintop, but we are going to do this.
Don't bring the Lord into filth.
Because
nope.
This is, and by the way, I am loving this. And audience, I think you'll agree. The Lord has created.
Nope.
The Lord. Has created such beauty, such kindness, such wonderfulness into that we are not
blaspheming.
Going to. Oh no, I did not blaspheme in any way, shape, or form.
I was worried.
None of the conversation that I just had.
Apparently, y'all can tell I was worried.
Mm-hmm. Was not about blaspheming.
Okay,
it was about celebrating what we would think God would be, and God is a gentle, kind God. A loving God. And that's okay. And by the way, I am an agnostic, borderline atheist. And that's fine.
Not worry about it.
I believe in the idea that humanity needs to fix its stuff. Stop praying to someone to fix your stuff. That's like me asking my parents to pay for all my stuff.
You know what? That's not a prayer that I've ever said. I've never. Listen. I've never. I've always said this is my mantra about my life and my walk with Christ and God. God is not Santa Claus. If you're out there praying
for a brand new TV,
pay
my bills, all about my bills.
If you're out there thanking God for your Oscar or thanking God for your play in a football game or a kickball game or a Tupperware party that you got a lot of money at, guess what? you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because God is not there.
Mm-hmm.
God is not there.
Mm-hmm.
So, y'all are wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
I am.
Okay.
I'm right. Because
that's why
I don't make vain prayers.
That's why Randy has the big cock. Because his confidence is big and large.
I didn't pray for it. Yeah. I was born with it. But thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's what it boils down to. It's all about knowing whether you have the big cock, the little dick, or the penis.
Stop saying penis. And I don't know what that has to do with the Lord, but I don't even want to know.
You know, the one thing that this episode is important to is us talking for the first time, not just as gay men, just as men. Because I think that we get away from the idea of, we always talk about heterosexual men, bisexual men, this kind of man, that kind of man, blah, blah, blah.
We try not to talk about bisexual.
But the thing is that we get away from talking about just being men. And
we are men.
Mm-hmm. And the fact of the matter is that we are men. And sometimes men, we are not, even in the gay culture, even gay men can be dicks.
Well,
yeah.
We've all met him.
Have you seen the gay culture?
We've all met him.
If you are out there in the world right now listening to us and been around a bunch of gay men, we are, I would like to say bitches. I really would like to say bitches, but we're men. Let's be honest. Sometimes we're dicks.
But we're always men.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're always, and
mm-hmm.
I don't understand the disconnect with the straight people.
Mm-hmm.
They think we're not men
mm-hmm.
for some reason.
I know. Do you realize how many
we're men?
Mm-hmm.
Women who love gay men
mm-hmm.
know that we're men
mm-hmm.
and support us
mm-hmm.
in the fact that
mm-hmm.
they know that we're men
mm-hmm.
and they love watching us
mm-hmm.
with other men because women,
mm-hmm.
straight women, could learn a lot about how we navigate our lives with other men.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why I think that so many straight women hang out with gay men
mm-hmm.
because they can see,
mm-hmm.
you know what? This is how a man acts.
Mm-hmm.
And both of us do
mm-hmm.
it. Not just one of us. Both of us are
mm-hmm.
acting a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
So
mm-hmm.
that's a
mm-hmm.
good thing for a straight woman.
Well,
but we are definitely always men.
Well, here's the thing. Because, ooh, Lord, ooh.
Bless his heart. He just vomited in his mouth.
I did not vomit in my mouth. That
sounded like it.
That was a burp. That was a burp.
Bad burp. Rich.
That was a bad burp, but that was a burp. That was a barbecue burp. Girl, I had some barbecue earlier.
Oh, see, that's
girl, I had some good barbecue earlier.
That's where she is.
Here's what happened. I got off the bus. I was heading to the bank, and there was this wafting smell of barbecue in the air, and I went, "Where is that coming from? I want some barbecue."
What bank were you at? What street?
Oh, I was just right down the street, but I went to the bank to make a deposit, and I get off the bus.
Barbecue?
I guess it was a pit barbecue. I guess
Where
so.
Old Decades used to be?
No. It was like right around the neighborhood. So I get off the bus, and the first thing I smell is this wafting air of barbecue. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to have some barbecue. And I'm trying to follow the smell. You know, I'm like that cartoon character when that little smelly thing was. I was floating around trying to figure out where that smell was coming from. And I'm like, I can't find the smell. So I guess I'm going to go down to the local barbecue place and get some barbecue because I need some barbecue right now. And it was good. So that's why I'm burping up a little bit of barbecue right now.
Yeah, that was his barbecue story.
Yes.
It was quite eloquent, I must say.
That's what led up to that eloquent burp where he thought that was just a bad burp. I'm still tasting
eloquent about that burp.
I'm still tasting the garlic and the barbecue sauce, girl. And that barbecue sauce was amazing, by the way.
God, it's very good.
A good rub. It was a good barbecue rub.
I love a good rub.
Some rub on some meat was, the rub on that meat was delicious. the rub on that meat was, I'm about to unbutton the button because we are about to get into some serious talk into the next
I don't know why he's
half hour.
Oh, because he's not out of his work uniform.
So the next
half,
half,
go to a break.
We're going to go to the break because the next half.
He needs to get out of his work uniform and relax.
So the next half of the break is going to be about, so you think you can top. Ready for that, Randy? Ready for that conversation? That conversation is going to be good.
No, I'm not really, because the truth is, I don't like to divulge all that information.
Okay, anyway, we're going to take a little bit of a break because Daddy has to go.
Daddy?
Yes, that's what I said, Daddy.
Where did you get that from?
Girl, we'll explain that
Whose
in the next.
daddy are you?
We'll explain that in the next half of the episode.
You might have to. Ain't no daddy up in her.
Break. Randy, lead us out to break, please.
We are going to break. Did you not just hear that motherfucker say, lead us out to break? We're going on break.
Did you hear me running across the floor? Are you ready to start the second half of the show? Have you ever been called Daddy?
Yes.
Has anyone ever looked at your crotch and called you the smoking gun? The Poppy?
Yes.
The Big D? Well, we're about to get into top territory in this second half of the episode. Because if you got one, you should be able to flaunt it. Now, I want to throw something out here real quick before we start this second half of the show. Here, I'm going to throw out a dick move that I do not like. And it is going on right now, and especially in the gay community. Please stop wearing padded underwear when you go out to the bars. When I see what I think is a big dick in a pair of jeans, it better be a big dick when it comes out of those jeans.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Are people actually doing that?
Yes, gay men.
Why would you do that?
Are actually wearing padded underwear that allows them to bunch their crotch out to make it seem like they have a big dick. But then when you take the package off and realize, wait, what is going on? Look, I don't have anything wrong. Look, what you have is what you have. And if you're a top, you should be proud of what you have. Period.
Yeah, I agree.
You don't have to be hung to the knees to be a top.
But you don't always have to be a top.
Mm-hmm.
You can be a bottom.
But if you are going to be a top,
if you're presenting yourself
as a top, don't fool me by wearing padded underwear that shows off what I thought was a big dick, and then get home and it's like, oh, that's only 5 inches. Is it going to grow? Oh, that's it at growth. No, don't do that.
But
do not do that.
Joel, here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been with a man who's a top that had like 4 inches and just wore you out?
Yes.
Yeah.
He wasn't 4, maybe about 5. Maybe about 5 inches.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe about 5 inches, but the dick was good.
I think everybody's been with a guy who's very aware of what he's doing. But I agree with you wholeheartedly. Mm-hmm. Don't present and then somebody comes home and sees that you're not only a shower, but you're not a grower.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not cool.
Hey, if I like you enough, if it is what it is, we'll probably still have a good time. I'm not going to make fun of you.
No.
In any way, shape, or form.
But
if you're wearing jeans that shows 10 inches and then I get home and see half of that, then that's what I'm going to be mad and go, you know what?
That's a problem.
I'm out.
You should have thrown him out in the first place.
I'm out. Oh, no, we didn't do anything. Trust me, we didn't, because I was like...
Lies.
And then he said that I was dick... You know, the funny thing is that...
He said what?
I was dick shaming him. And I'm like, I didn't dick shame you.
You
falsely advertised...
Thank you. That's
something,
what I was about to say.
You falsely advertised something that you obviously did not have. when it got down to start playing it around, and I'm like, so where's the other 5? And you're like, well, this is it. And then I'm like, wait a minute, but I saw more. Well, I was wearing padded underwear.
Why?
Why?
No.
No, don't do that.
I'm definitely on your side. Mm-hmm. I'm on the side of everybody who gets fooled by that. Mm-hmm. That's like booty pads. Mm-hmm. Why are you wearing booty pads? Mm-hmm. And I take you home and you got a flat ass.
Mm-hmm. It is what it is. If I knew you had a flat ass to begin with, and I still liked you anyway, we still gonna have a good time.
Yeah. And I'm interested in more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Than just your booty mm-hmm. or your dick. And I've been with that guy who mm-hmm. had 3 inches, mm-hmm. and I bought him for him, and mm-hmm. I still think about him.
Exactly.
Because he knew what he was doing.
Exactly. Because he knows if you are confident in what you got. And men, you need to listen to this 100%. Mm-hmm. Stop being ashamed of your size.
Exactly.
Because if you do not understand this more than anything, women have told me this more than anything else.
Beating on the table.
Yes, because I'm tired of this. I am so tired of this. It's ridiculous. I like confidence in a man.
Exactly.
And confidence means that you are confident from head to toe. Mm-hmm. So when I look at what's going on down there,
I don't care as long as you
and I know what's going on up there. Exactly. I know we're gonna have a good time
as long as you know who you mm-hmm. are. Mm-hmm.
And I have had a good time with little men, and I've had an awful time with big men. I have an awful time with big men.
Oh no, I've had that water hose. Mm-hmm. You know that water hose mm-hmm. dick that doesn't really quite get up. Mm-hmm. And I was in. I guess I was 19 in Greenville, mm-hmm. Mississippi, and I took Rodney. Well, actually, I did take Rodney to the Holiday Inn mm-hmm. in Greenville because I couldn't sleep. I would live with my parents at the time. Mm-hmm. I was 18, and mm-hmm. We went to the Holiday Inn, and I spent $65 on a room at the Holiday Inn, and that motherfucker never got a hard on mm-hmm. with his water hose dick. And then he took his water hose dick because I didn't want to get out of bed. Mm-hmm. It was my fault. Took all that water hose and took my car to get some breakfast mm-hmm. and totaled my car. Mm-hmm. That's not fun. Mm-mm. Rodney, if you're out there, fuck you. And he was like, mm-mm. I always like men. Mm-hmm. So older men. Well, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He was probably about 30. But anyway.
So here's a question. We are 2 men who are actually doing okay in that realm. We are doing pretty good in that realm.
Oh, and you mean in that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
in
that realm.
About that. We're not talking
yes,
about
but yeah. we don't have to get deep into that. But as men who are doing well in that realm, it is expected for us to be like the most amazing tops on the planet. It is expected.
Oh, yeah.
It is pretty much expected. So it's like, well, yeah, it is what it is, but
well, sometimes you get a guy mm-hmm. who's so loose. Mm-hmm. You're like I was mm-hmm. last time. Mm-hmm.
Now
it was a while ago, mm-hmm. but the guy sat on my stuff, mm-hmm. and it was like I believe it was Jerry Seinfeld who said it, and mm-hmm. and I made this. Actually said this before. Mm-hmm. It was like throwing a sack of weenies down a big long hall. Mm-hmm. And it's like, why? What? No, no. And I told him, get up and get out. Mm-hmm. But actually, he said, your dick, it's like not hard anymore. I'm mm-hmm. like, oh, could you tell? Mm-hmm. Because I didn't know you could tell. Mm-hmm. Because you just sat right on down, mm-hmm. and I didn't feel nothing. Mm-hmm.
So
walk out.
So let's
see. Joel always does this to me. He gets me telling these fucking stories that I shouldn't be telling.
So let's...
Lord, that's why my cousin can't listen to the show.
So let's get into the same conversation that we had. We are now talking to a brand new group of men who have decided to come out for the first time. They are 40 plus, or they might be young men. And they have decided that they want to be tops instead of bottoms. Which, by the way, I will say this. But I enjoy, as a versatile person, I enjoy both. So I can say this with confidence that I do enjoy both. So now let's get into a couple of tips on how to be a better top.
All right.
Okay.
Hit me.
So.
But don't hit me, motherfucker, because I'll hit you.
So I'm going to read from a chord. I'm going to read from my chords because, I worked hard on these, so I'm going to read from my chords.
Girl, you have to take your glasses off.
Yes, I have to take these. Yes. So here we are. We met that hot someone who got our dick hard, and we want nothing more than to thrust our throbbing muscle into their tight hole. Stop right there, Thor. This isn't just a plot hole in a Marvel movie. You can just throw Mjolnir into. You gotta take your time before you bust that plot hole wide open.
Oh my.
Here are a few tips from The Advocate, by the way. Go online, Advocate Magazine. The funny thing is, I got all the tips on how to be a bottom.
From The Advocate.
No, I got all the tips from being a bottom from Out Magazine. Now The Advocate is giving tips on how to be a top.
So
two different magazines.
The Advocate is advocating
tops
how to
be a top.
Be a top to a bottom.
And the Out Magazine is advocating being a bottom to a top.
Isn't that funny? The same publisher?
I have no idea. I would like to think
interesting.
That would be interesting to find out. And I said,
that's a fun.
Like I said, for all of,
if you will,
for all of you online who are listening, for all of you who are listening to our podcast, go online to The Advocate if you are looking for tips on how to be a top. We're just going to give you a few that I picked out that I know would be great for this show.
All right, girl, hit it.
So, if you want to be more of a Captain America or a Black Panther in the bedroom when it comes to being a top, just read the article in The Advocate, and it will help you do that. So let's get to tip number 1. And here's the irony in this tip, because Randy just said something about this. Ain't no such thing as a loose bottom. Ain't no such thing as a loose bottom. That's tip number 1. Stop with the whole shaming.
Damn right.
Stop with the whole shaming. If you are with the bottom who is a little loose, that's because he worked that muscle. He already knows how to loosen it up. He loosened it up to get that dick in there. Trust me, he will thrust it on, tighten it up, and your dick is going to be going for a ride of its life. So don't, stop with the whole shaming. Stop with those.
No whole shaming.
Like I said, when a bottom learns how to control that, when he can control the strongest muscle in the body, when he's worked and put the effort and time into doing that, to make your dick fit into that hole, that's love right there. Or that's just a good time. That man knows it.
Or it's somebody like me who's waiting for the right man. And when you get some, you're going to know you had some.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to know you had it. So just enjoy it, because by the way, there's also another part to that. Communication. We talked about this before, and it is still the most important thing.
You have to say what you want. And if you're not getting it,
and listen,
tell them to get the fuck out.
And listen to your bottom. Listen to your bottom. That is the most important thing on the planet. If
As you top, you have to know
exactly
what he wants and what he doesn't want, and don't take over his ass.
And when you shame a bottom by calling him loose, what you're saying is that I don't have the skills to take care of you. I'd rather have someone who's tight and a virgin who I'm going to make painful and everything else.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say that.
No, not you. I'm just talking about tops in general.
No, I wouldn't say that because one of the bottoms that I was, like I told you earlier, that was fucking just sat on my dick and I couldn't feel anything. And I had to tell him to get out because I was concerned that a slut like that was in my house.
But I will say this.
See, I hate to be mean.
But I will say this.
That motherfucker was loose because we both know what I got. And so if you can sit on what I got and I don't feel anything, bet you lose.
But also on the other side of this table, I've also had that same experience until it was all the way in. And then it tightened up. And then it was the ride of everybody's life.
Well, it was all the way in.
So he learned how to work that muscle. He did what he had to do to get it in there. I was good with that. Yes, I was good with that. With me,
that hadn't happened.
When you are able to open that door to let him in, and then close that door real tight.
I know what you're talking about.
It's like click, click.
Listen,
click, click.
He didn't have those kind of doors, girl. He didn't have those doors.
Maybe he didn't, but he shouldn't be shamed for it. He should
not be shamed
I
didn't shame him necessarily. I just said, get the fuck out of my house.
I think that was enough shame right there.
Why?
I think that
Why
was
do I have to be the mean person?
Because you were the mean person, and you need to admit that you were the mean person.
What was I supposed to do with that motherfucker?
Because you didn't let other stuff happen. Like I said, I've been down there.
I should have
waited. You should have waited to see if it was going to clink, clink. And you didn't wait for the clink. You didn't wait for the clink.
Are you kidding? I got the...
You did not wait for the clink. All you felt was the loose and thought it was over with and that was done.
You weren't there and your dick isn't my dick, so what the hell are you talking about? I felt the clink and there was no clink. The clink had been clunked. So get out of my dick.
Or, and I'm not even going to say it, so I'm going to just move on.
I clunked.
I'm
just
going to move on.
Or the clink was clunked.
Because we're going to go to tip number 2, which I think is the most important thing that I have ever read as a top. So here's the thing. It happens sometimes. It does happen sometimes. Sometimes, even the cleanest of the bottoms, sometimes it can get a little messy. A little.
Discussion. That's just...
Yeah, a little.
That's
Randy,
disturbing. I don't want to talk about it.
Randy, let's face the facts. You are sticking your dick.
Shh.
You are sticking. Why are you telling me to shush?
Because I don't like talking about... Everybody knows that reality.
Yeah, it is the reality.
Well...
And there's nothing wrong with that reality. And
there is.
When we put it out there, it suddenly becomes, oh, that's silly. The reality is that you are sticking a dick in an ass where poop comes out.
Oh my gosh.
And no matter how clean a bottom is, sometimes...
All right.
Sometimes things happen.
Things should not happen.
Not in a wave where it's messing up your bed, but maybe you might get just a little bit. Just a little bit. Randy, we're of a generation that...
Why are we talking about this?
Randy, we're of a generation that wore condoms through almost all our sexual activities.
Always.
We've seen a little bit of it on there. We pulled off the condom.
Never looked.
I've
never looked.
I have seen it once or twice. It doesn't happen, but it's always just a little bit. It's not like it's covered in chocolate.
Oh my gosh.
It's just a little bit.
You're just making it worse.
Because it's not worse.
It is worse.
The reality is that we're sticking our dick in an ass.
You know what?
And then we need to get over that.
I'm over it.
As long as the sex is still good. If you had a good time, that's fine. But when you pull that kind of... And by the way, for us who did wear...
Why are you even bringing that up?
Because I want everybody to understand the reality.
They need to clean their kitchen.
Even the most clean kitchen sometimes might... Not a lot. I said this.
Why are you
When you step into your kitchen and you see a little bit of mud on the floor, but the rest of the floor is clean.
There be mud in your kitchen,
and the rest of the floor is
You're
clean.
A real
you just clean that up
kitchen.
and you move on. That's it. It's not a big deal.
All right.
It is not a big deal.
Well, good.
Don't make it a big deal.
Oh, well, I didn't.
Okay, but I love your response because this is the response that a lot of tops make. It is really the honest to God truth about how a lot of tops think that bottoms are supposed to be crystal clean.
We were just talking about a clean kitchen before you get somebody
I know,
in.
But a lot of tops have this super expectation that kitchen is supposed to be perfect, and there's no such thing as a perfect kitchen.
What? My story from the last segment about bottoms is if you know it, and don't let them in.
Yep.
So as a bottom, in that moment when I was bottoming, I knew, ain't nobody coming up in here.
Yes.
I have too much self-respect for that. You need to make sure your shit is clean, no pun intended.
Okay.
Make sure it's done and ready to go. If you fall into a situation where you're going to get fucked.
So, Randy,
let it be known.
So, let me ask you a question.
Better be clean.
Let me ask you a question. If you had $100,000 sheets on your bed and you made sure that everything was 100% clean in your kitchen beforehand, would you have sex on those $100,000 sheets, knowing that there might be a little something?
In me?
Yes, in you.
Nope. There wouldn't be anything, I'm telling you.
It happens to all bottoms, Randy.
Joe.
It happens to all. No bottom can ever say that they are perfect.
Why would you ask me a question and ask me an answer and then disagree with my answer?
Because
my answer is this.
No bottom is ever perfect.
If I didn't feel clean, he would never get up
but
in my
even
business.
when you were the most clean, Randy, see, here's the thing. This is what I read the whole
never
article.
Let him in.
I read the whole article.
I don't care about these motherfuckers with this article.
I
would never let a man in, Joel.
Even when you didn't eat for the entire day, you made sure everything was cleansed up to that certain point. He gets in there, does his business. He moves out, goes and takes a shower, and there's just a little bit on there. It's going to be a little bit. You are in ass territory. Is always going to be a little bit.
And by the way, you said it's going to be a little bit.
A little bit.
I have to correct you and say there is going to be a little bit.
There is going to be a little
bit.
But
I will say this. Not if you're good at cleaning.
Okay, all right.
All I'm saying is this. I won't allow you. Listen, ain't nobody, first of all, going to do that to me until I'm married. But I'm telling you, I will be on guard, ready to go. Boom.
Oh, I can't wait to hear the stories when you get married.
Well,
that one story where you're
guess
like,
what?
Joel, I thought I was 100% clean, but
guess what? That's my husband. If I get married, and I hope I do, I'm never talking about my sex with my husband. People don't do that. Married people shouldn't be doing that. If they are, shame on them.
And the last tip, once again, I will tell the audience, go to The Advocate to get more tips on how to be a better bottom. We're just going over just a few because I picked the 3 tips that I thought that we could talk about on the air because, one, they're kind of funny. Yes. 2, they really do apply to our regular lives. And I think that it's important that we let everybody understand something. We said it in the previous episode, and we're going to say it again. Porn is not sex education.
No,
when it comes to gay,
no,
when it comes to the gay,
not.
It is not sex education.
Or even straight people. Even straight people. No, it's not.
If you think that your dick easily slides into an ass, it does not happen that way. You might see it in a porn because they had 19 different cuts, a lot of editors, and all kinds of stuff going on behind the scenes. That is not how gay sex works.
No.
It is not. It is the first part of it is a lot of trial and error. It is a lot of seeing how far you can go. Mm-hmm. It is a lot of talking.
And we are talking about dicks on this episode.
Yes, a lot of communication, a lot of feeling our way around, that kind of thing. You will never see that in a porn. You're never going to watch a porn where
You're never going to watch a porn where a man actually says he goes in slow, into your ass, and he's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?"
And the wait time.
Taking that big old dick, because if you're lucky, like me.
And there is a wait time. There is a wait time. You have to make
slow.
sure that all of yes. And once you do get it all the way in, you still have to wait because you have to make sure.
Oh yeah, he doesn't just ride.
You just don't ride it. You have to wait to make sure that the person under you can handle you.
Yeah.
And he will let you know that when it's time for you to start doing some movement.
Anytime I've ever,
topped,
fucked a guy, topped is a nice way to say it. Topped a guy. You gotta. There's a progression. And I'm like, take another hit of poppers. No, I'm kidding. I denounced poppers earlier, so I'm kidding. No, but the thing is, if a man doesn't pace you, if you're a virgin, and he doesn't pace you with his cock, then you need to get up and get out. Because. Yeah.
And I will say this, I have sometimes gotten a little excited because I've gotten halfway in there and I'm ready to go and I'm super excited and everything else. And I have been told by the person under me,
slow down.
Stop.
Yeah.
Take it slow. We'll get to that point. And I will let you have your fun as much as you can, but you got to let me get used to you first. I've heard the words "get used to" so many times when I have been in the top position. Let me get used to you first.
Oh, yeah.
I need to get used to you first, and then you can go to town. And even when you're with someone who's, like I said, who's an experienced bottom, it doesn't always, you don't always just go right in. You still have to work your way in it. You still have to do the work to get there. But the end results are amazing. Whether you're a top or I'm going to be honest, it's more amazing when you're a bottom. It is honestly more amazing when you're a top. It's really good. I enjoy it when I'm a top. But I have to say that even when I'm a top, I sometimes will look at my partner and realize how much they are having a good time. And a tiny part of me envies them for just a second. I'm having a good time too. Don't get me wrong. I'm having a good time. Well, and I'm glad that I'm able to give them the pleasure that they want. But there's a tiny, itty bitty part of me that is like...
Anybody who's ever listened to the show will remember Roberta saying, there's nothing like a good old prostate massage. And let me tell y'all something. It's good. It's good.
And by the way, never, ever as a top, and I will emphasize this. I'm going to put my mic up so you can hear this.
They can hear it.
Never shame your bottom. Your bottom knows more than you when it comes to their needs. They know more than you. They know how they like it. They know what they want to do with it. They love your dick, but they know more than you. Listen to your bottom, and you will have a good time. I'm sorry. I had to put my mic up close.
I'm concerned about how loud it is.
I don't care.
Because our mics are rather loud anyway.
Well.
But, no, I don't care. I'm kidding.
I know. But I just
really I agree with Joel.
Yeah. Listen
to the guy you're shoving your cock in.
Because whether you believe it or not, Whether you believe it or not, and this is the honest God truth, whether you believe it or not, you are not the one in control. The person under you is.
I know
the person under you is. And he will show you a good time as long as you listen to him.
If you let him.
If you let him. But you got to let him. You can't just go in there willy-nilly and think, oh, I got a big dick and I can do this. No, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
That is not how it works. A big dick is a nice thing sometimes. Oh. But like Randy said, sometimes 3 to 4 inches is also pretty good too.
Hey.
Because they knew what they were doing. And it's all about knowing what you're doing.
Frankly, I can't believe I said that. But I did. So
And it's really about communication. And as long as you're communicating with me when I am about him, or when you're communicating with me
Juan
when I'm a top.
Carlos Restrepo from Puerto Rico. Call me. Shout out, bitch.
You send it out to girl. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to go back on Facebook and see, hey, is Randy around? Can I hook up with Randy? Does Randy want to go out on a date? Then I'm going to be like, Randy, all these guys want to go on a date with you. What are you going to do about it?
I guess I'll take them one at a time.
I guess you will.
Not take them.
Well, you took 2 the first time.
Well, that was my first time.
Take
them. Anyway.
I think we're going to take a little bit of a break because, like I said, we got a little bit hot and heated.
Yes.
These episodes are so hot and heated. Good Lord. So we're going to take a little bit of a break and we'll be right back.
I wouldn't say that.
Hello, we're back.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. And Randy, we actually have a new sponsor.
Oh, who is it?
Okay. It's from the makers of Pray the Gay Away. It's a new product that has been brought on the line.
Oh,
so
Lord have mercy.
Here is the catchphrase for that product. So being gay got you down? Try conversion therapy, but it left you with low self-esteem and the urge to kill yourself? Well, no more. Dr. Marian Al-Sohail, a Kuwaiti doctor, scientist, and a member of Islam, now has a cure for you. Suppositories. Yes, now something else to stick up your butt will turn you hetero in as little as 10 days. You see, gayness is caused by a worm that eats your semen. The number one cause of this is, it seems to be by rape. Yes. When you're younger, when the worm grows to full maturity, it eats all your precious baby-making sperm and turns you into either a narcissistic gym rat who worships his body and the body of others who look exactly like him, or worse yet, a prancing Nelly Queen who drinks iced coffee while asking herself if this is a Beyonce moment or a Taylor Swift moment. Because it has to be a moment. It comes in 2 colors, blue or pink, because it seems that this happens to women too, because some semen-eating worm also magically poops out butch lesbians. It's called anti-gay suppositories. By the way, that is just a parody of an article that I read not too long ago about a Kuwaiti scientist who seems to think that we are only gay because there's a worm up our asses.
What?
Yes.
Well,
yes,
that Kuwaiti scientist is probably gay himself.
No, it's a woman.
Save his own life. Or her.
It's a woman, yes. And she is a recognized scientist in Kuwait and also a member of Islam who has also been talking to other evangelicals on finding ways to cure the gay.
And guess what? They're all going to turn their backs on us as human beings.
But the fact of the matter is that with all the amazing problems that are going on, we have tons of trash in the ocean.
Well, I was just about to say the aliens are going to come down, and then guess what? It's going to be us against them, and those people are going to stick with the aliens. People like that, turncoat motherfuckers who don't care about the real issues of human life.
And that's why in both this episode and the last episode, why I got into the idea of an episode where we did bottoms and an episode where we did tops, where we started to recognize that as gay men, we should enjoy each other. Sex should be about enjoying each other, and not only enjoying each other sexually, but enjoying each other as people. We need to stop with all the ageism, the racism, the sexism, all the stuff that, I'm sorry, befouls hetero relationships, and stop bringing them into our relationships. The fact of the matter is that we are different from heterosexuals, and we need to understand that.
Yes.
We need to understand that. But by trying to be heteronormative and taking on their problems and making them ours, we're really damaging our own community.
You're right.
We need to spend more time in our own community facing those issues and doing something about it, because they refuse to.
No, I agree.
They refuse to. And they look at, and we have to be God damn it. We always have to be that community. We always have to be the shining example of what human beings could possibly be, because that's what we have to do.
It's a shame, but it's the truth.
It's the truth.
And but then again, heterosexuals
for women,
look upon us as less than. But we are total advocates for women and men. Men who want to be better than who they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Typically,
we are men who have no problem with showing emotion and understanding our emotions. We have no problem with that.
Isn't it fun though when you go to a party full of straight guys and they all want to come up to you and talk because they want to talk about their emotions? And I love that because I'll be there for them. You know, I'm a friendly person. So I'll be there for them if they want to talk about their emotions.
We're men who are in touch with our emotions, and we're okay with that.
They think of us as women. And,
yeah, exactly. They still think of us as women.
Of women as women. Why wouldn't you talk to the woman first? They always talk to us first.
You know,
and I don't have a problem with that. You know, I don't. I love my straight friends. I do.
You know what gets me sometimes is having to deal with I like where I work. I really do.
That's a good thing.
I'm hoping that when this takes off, that I don't have to do that anymore. Because I've realized that now that I've gotten older, the things that I used to put up with before, I can't put up with now. I can't put up with the homophobia. I cannot put up with the underlying racism. I cannot put up with it anymore. I can't deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's starting to affect me a little bit. Because I did not realize, whereas before I thought, maybe just a little bit of education and blah, 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 blah will help.
You can't educate people
but the
who
thing
are
is,
racist.
It is become...
Or homophobic.
Yes.
You can't educate these people.
When I'm talking to a guy at work and we're joking around and everything else, and he calls me a girl, and I'm like, dude, I've got a bigger dick than you. How are you going to call me a girl?
Because
I'm gay,
you don't have the right to call me a girl.
I am,
and you have to understand. All right, let me just say this.
Go ahead.
Any straight people who are listening, don't ever call a homosexual a girl. First of all, not every homosexual appreciates it. Certainly not from a heterosexual. But in our own community, there are guys who are friends of ours who don't like to be called girl. So never assume girl on anybody. Never assume that you can say girl to any gay man, because you're an idiot if you do.
And by the way, I find it insulting that you think that women are so inferior to you that you think calling me a girl is an insult. Women who have to go through so much more than you, your lives are easy. Women's lives are not. When you call me a woman or a girl, here's the thing. I'm going to take it as a compliment, because women go through far more than any other person on the planet. Women have to deal with catcalls. They have to deal with sexual harassment. They have to deal with, they can't even walk out of their houses without some dude laying in. They can't live. Women can't live because they're not allowed to.
Well, no, they're objects. They can in this country, and a lot of women have taken all this shit and the womanizing from men, and they're fine. My sisters are no victims.
I'm not
Your
saying that
sisters aren't victims.
My sisters. No one has said. Let me tell you something. No one has said anything about here. Here's where I disagree on that, and I'm sorry, I'm going to have to disagree on that.
I don't care. Disagree. I might disagree with your disagreement.
You say that you say that your sisters don't deal with that.
And no, they do.
They do.
But they persevered.
And because that's what they have to do.
They have done. They've dealt with it. But that was years ago.
But here's the thing. Why do they have to deal with it?
They shouldn't have to. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not defending men for doing it. I'm just saying that don't forget that women have persevered and done fine after the fact. That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying that women are strong and they're just fine now, and they have to be because guess what? They're turning tables on these.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's nothing. No. I'm just saying that don't forget that women aren't victims anymore. They were for a while, but not any woman in my life. No woman in my life was ever a victim of discrimination because they railed against it, and they're professional people.
Which, by the way, they did actually end up having to deal with discrimination if they had to rail against it. So they actually did have to deal with that. So the fact of the matter is that that's not a true statement because they actually had to deal with it.
I said that because that's the thing you say. But the truth is, in my house, in my family, my sisters have never complained about the man keeping them down. So I'm just saying, keep it real. I'm just trying to keep it real over here on this side of the table. We are on opposite sides of the table. I don't know what your women went through in your life, but my women, my sisters.
I completely disagree.
No, my sisters are fine.
You can disagree I will with say this.
All you want to.
That I had more issues to deal with when it came to my sisters.
Oh, that's your that's your story.
Well,
okay. That's your story. Not
more
mine.
Issues to deal with them than maybe you had to.
I didn't have any.
But I feel like that when I read women's stories and everything else.
No. I'm not discounting women's stories. I'm saying that not all women have suffered that much. That's what I'm saying. My sisters didn't suffer that much. Girl, I'm just giving you another perspective, and I'm calling you girl because I love you, and not because I'm degrading you.
It's gay.
That's what I'm saying about the gay thing.
Yeah, it's a gay thing. So
no, I'm saying
when we call each other girl, it's a compliment.
It's fun.
It's a compliment, and it's our celebration of women.
Oh,
when we call each other girl, it's our we love the idea of calling each other girl because we find women to be strong individuals who have to deal with a lot of shit, and they persevere.
Yeah.
So when we call each other girl, it's a compliment. When it comes from heterosexuals, it is never a compliment.
No, I agree with that.
It is when it comes from, and I should point out when I say this, when it comes from heterosexual males, it is not a compliment.
Mm-hmm.
It is never a compliment when it comes from heterosexual males. I'm sorry to say this. It is never a compliment when it comes to heterosexual males.
Yeah.
When men call us girls,
oh no,
because of us being gay,
no,
that is never
it's
never a compliment. It is never a compliment. It is meant to be an insult. And by the way, it's an insult not only to us, it's also an insult to women.
You know what I can't stand, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
Is when women and men, heterosexuals, call us boys. Those boys are, and have you never experienced that from heterosexual people? They call you boy.
Okay, boy.
Gay. No, bitch. I'm not talking about the black boy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about boy.
No.
Gay men, boy.
Mm-hmm. No,
never been called boy.
No, see, it's a different connotation because.
No, I know that. I'm saying you've never been called one of the boys by, these are my boys.
Oh, no, that's fine.
No, it's not. From heterosexual people? No, it's not.
No. When it comes from heterosexuals, no.
It's very disrespectful.
No, it's not. It's either we're immature as men, or we're too much like women. And the fact of the matter is that once again, I don't find it an insult to be called girl.
Oh, I don't find an insult from gay men.
From gay men. I find it to be an insult.
Straight men?
When straight men do it, they're malicious about it.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
And it is
but not
malicious.
Straight women, but straight men. But
the thing is, it's malicious because, one, you are literally saying that women are inferior, so I'm inferior. That's what you're saying. And that is the honest to God truth.
Oh, no, that's true.
That is the truth.
Yeah, that's true.
You are saying that women are inferior, so therefore I'm inferior. That is a double insult.
Well, we're definitely inferior, according to straight men.
According to straight men, we're inferior. But straight women love us because, once again, we're in touch with our emotions. And we have no problem with being ourselves.
Yeah.
And everything that they wish that straight men could be. And now straight men
we empower straight women.
Mm-hmm. And straight men.
That's why straight men hate us.
Straight men are now having to understand that they might have to be more like us in order to be with women.
Well, no. No.
Not on a sexual term, but on an emotional.
Not like a sexual term.
But on an emotional level, we are able to listen. When we are with our girlfriends, we listen to them. Mm-hmm. We listen to every word that they say. We do. That's what we do. We have no sexual interest in them.
Oh, heavens no.
So we have the entire opportunity to listen.
I've done pajama parties with women in my pajamas. We're all up in the same bed and having a good night's sleep and having fun. I love.
Oh, good Lord.
We should, Joel, with women and men, and no couples at all. I'm not talking about an orgy. I'm talking about fun, watching movies, sleeping bags. It would be fun.
I would like to.
If we could film it.
I'd like to have a show where we did do that, where the mics are on. And everybody can talk about their stuff.
The mics are on.
Everybody can talk about their stuff. And we are sitting around and we're having wine and we're watching movies.
Let's do it.
And that kind of thing. I think that's a fantastic idea.
I know it's a fantastic
because
idea.
Because
I just had it.
And we can have these conversations with our heterosexual compatriots and go, hey, you know what? Yeah, I don't like when you say this and that and blah, 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 blah.
Oh, I can invite my heterosexual, I call them my heterosexual contingency, and that's probably not the right word, but oh, I love my heterosexual men friends. They're wonderful. So it doesn't matter if they're
I don't
hot.
care about them being hot.
No, me either.
And now I'm on the...
But we could do that.
Yeah. But, you know, the thing is that we're probably about to end the show here in a bit.
No, whatever.
But I wanted to have the conversation. Episode 68 and 69 was about gay men loving their sexuality, loving who they are as tops and bottoms. I'm versatile. You're versatile. So the idea of being able to have these conversations.
I'm looking for a husband, actually. So
yeah, put it out there. Randy is looking for a husband.
And I'm just,
I'm going to say this. I don't know what I'm looking for, to be quite honest. I don't know if I'm looking for a husband.
I put it out there, but we need to hear from people who listen to the show.
So I think I'm going to end the show by saying this. As far as Joel is concerned, I'd like a man who would be fun, adventurous, likes to travel, and puts up with all my bullshit, and is closer to my age. Because I want to grow old with someone. I don't want to grow old before someone.
Well, me being me, if there's anybody out there listening, because I hope y'all. Anyway, I would like, everybody wants to travel, bitch. But,
when I say adventurous, I want a guy who would take me surfing.
All right, you know what?
I want a guy who
it's
likes
not your turn.
Hiking and... Oh,
it's not your turn.
Okay, go ahead. It's always your turn.
Oh, bitch. Anyway.
I'm okay with that. It's always your turn. Go ahead.
All right. Anyway, I'd like to meet a nice man who would like to settle down and just have a good time getting to know each other.
Family oriented?
Family oriented. If you got kids, keep them to yourself. Unless they're of a certain age. Because that'd be perfect to introduce to your children if they're in their 30s. But, well, it's true. I'm 51 years old. So I'd like a 51-year-old man who knows who he is and enjoys himself and wants to enjoy himself with me. And that other sexual stuff, girl, that'll come. No pun intended. But I don't care about anything but love. I want to be in love. I've never been in love, and that's what I want. So,
Is it my turn now?
That wasn't terribly articulate.
I think that for the first time in all the episodes that we've ever done, that you've really articulated what you want, what kind of life you would like to have. And I think that's the most brilliant thing on the planet. And I think that before we started the show, I think that you actually gave up on that idea. And I think that since we've been doing this show, you now like the idea. You now think that the idea is possible. You think the idea is more possible than it's ever been before. Girl. And I think that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I'm glad that, by the way, I'm glad that we are being able to share this on a world stage.
I never thought the idea wasn't possible.
Because,
I hate it when you do that.
No, it's not that. And I want you to stop doing that.
No, I want you to stop doing that. I'm not a pathetic person.
No one ever said that. By the way, no one.
pathetic.
No, it's not that. No, I never ever did that.
It wasn't your intention.
That was never my intention. My intention was.
But that's the way you make me feel sometimes.
My intention, and I'm going to be honest when I say this.
Well,
and
see, here we go.
I'm going to be honest when I said that. When I say this, my intention was for us not to get old.
Well, that's not going to happen.
You misinterpret me. When I say get old, I mean the fact that we've given up.
No, we're never giving up.
And the fact of the matter is that, and I want to shout this out to the audience as much as I possibly can. We have done 69 episodes of this show. Whether you have listened or not, we have had a great time doing all 69 episodes. We have done it. We have done it ourselves.
Yeah.
We've done it with 2 other people.
Yeah.
But we have had a great time doing 69 episodes.
Yeah.
And I want to let you know, and I'm still talking to the audience, I want to let you know that we love doing this. Mm-hmm. We have a great time doing this. Mm-hmm. And it has been the most eye-opening experience that I've ever had. I have never felt more alive than when I do. I look forward to doing this show every week. And I know that, like I said, I look at the numbers and sometimes they are just ridiculously pathetic. I know that. And I have to deal with that every time. And I have to figure out new ways to come up with any way for you guys to listen to us. But the fact of the matter is that we are 2 friends who talk about everything. And if you haven't gotten it by now, you'll get it, because this is how real we are. And this is why, if you're listening to other podcasts,
and we're out there,
if you're listening to other podcasts and everything else, good for you. But when you listen to our podcast, we're just being real. We're just ourselves.
And we're part of history. Mm-hmm. So now we're out there. Think about it. Mm-hmm. We're out there for the world. Mm-hmm. There ain't no erasing this internet. And so
we're out there for posterity.
I'm going to say this. We're out there for posterity. But I'm going to say this. Aliens.
Oh, God. Here we go.
I'm good.
They're time travelers. They're not aliens, but we're not
I
going to.
I don't know about that. You don't
time
know.
travelers.
You don't know that. You
they are just tourists.
You're trying to comfort yourself.
They're just tourists who are they have no interest in us whatsoever. I cannot believe that an alien race would travel. I can't even think of the number.
But they've been
quadrillion millions of miles to come to a rotten ass planet.
They've been here for
ass planet to conquer this shit. This
They're
shit, ball.
Conquering us.
It's like going into a bad neighborhood and thinking that I'm going to change it. This is a bad neighborhood in the universe. You're not going to.
What? They're not conquering. They're gonna conquer, but girl. It's all right.
We are like the bad neighborhood of the universe.
We're too old to be worried about being slaves, girl. They just gonna.
I'm not worried about it because Earth is the bad neighborhood of the entire. No one wants to come to the worst neighborhood in the universe. Oh, you want to go to Earth? Ugh, that neighborhood is terrible. Don't go there.
Don't come to Earth.
There's some hot planets that you can go to, but why would you want to come to Earth? Yuck. Those people are terrible.
Happens.
You ready to end this, bitch? This show is pretty much over. We have done 2 shows.
2 shows.
2 shows. And we have had a good time.
Always.
We've had a good time. Always a good time.
And I love you, E.T. Mm-hmm. Not you bitches, but E.T.
I don't know what any of this has to do with being gay men, but hey, if gay men can find a way to get on E.T.'s good side, we'll be fine.
Not that easy. Steven Spielberg's E.T. Not
good Lord.
Dirty motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I said it.
Mm-hmm.
Come get me, bitches.
Look, if the UFOs come down here and say, "Hey, the gays are okay," but the gays are okay, but the rest of this planet is just terrible.
You know what? The gays are always okay.
In the entire universe, the gays will probably be okay.
Yeah, because we're not trying to produce.
Exactly. The gays will be okay. So we're gonna end this. We're done.
And we love the straights, by the way.
Bitches, we've had too much sexist tea. We've had a good time, and I'm going to have to spend time trying to figure out how to edit this show, but we had a good time. Randy is my co-host. This is Joel and Randy's Texas Tea. It's been produced by Joel Tatum, and Randy, I sure hate it because we're not going to reveal his last name because he doesn't want to reveal his last name. We have our other co-hosts, Chris Purvis and Miss Charles the Pinky. We have our audio engineer, Chris Owens, who pops in every now and then, but he does what he needs to do, and he's got our sound really good. So
he's super sweet.
He's super sweet. By the way, boys, Chris Purvis is 27 and a hot young man. So y'all need to look him up. If you need to look him up, go to our Facebook page, Joel and Randy's Texas Tea.
I don't know how good he would feel about you saying that.
He is part of the crew.
Joel saw me
part of the crew.
bend my lip. I'm like,
he is part of the crew. So go to Joel and Randy's Texas Tea on Facebook. If you younger people are still not, I understand that younger people don't like Facebook anymore because it's for old people.
Well, guess what? Facebook is the devil.
Go to Instagram, Joel and Randy Show 1, or go to Twitter, Joel and Randy's Texas Tea 1 on Twitter. So we had a good time.
We had a great time.
And I want to tell you something. I'm going to read off something that I wanted to say to gay men for the last time. Remember, you can be who you were meant to be. Racism, ageism, sexism, body issues. When you stand tall and proud of who you are, and I'm sorry to say this to Randy, goddamn day, you change community, then you change the world. Good night, everybody.
He could have said GOT.
I am atheist. I don't care.
Bye. Well, you know what that means, but okay.